Mr. Weber, 2003 was not your favorite year.
No, it wasn't, Your Honor.
You were a terrible, bad boy.
Yes, I was.
Right from the jump, the judge sets a tone that blends humor with a stark reminder of Mr. Weber's reckless past. But don't be fooled. This banter isn't just casual, setting up a legal tale that spans states, substance charges, and nearly 2 decades of consequences.
Right. Okay, now let me get your stuff, your pack of stuff. We will go on the record in the matter 03-TR-1612, County of Burnett versus Colt Weber. It's Weber, correct?
Yes.
The state appears through District Attorney James Reni in person. Mr. Weber appears in person without counsel. We're here today on a hearing request by Mr. Weber. Mr. Weber has filed a lot of documents in this matter. Mr. Weber, 2003 was not your favorite year.
No, it wasn't, Your Honor.
You were a terrible, bad boy.
Yes, I was.
You did a lot of reckless things that year.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
But as I understand it, you're Mille Lacs?
Yes.
You are a member of the Mille Lacs tribe, and in 2003, you received a large sum of money, correct?
Yes, I did.
And when you received that large sum of money at a very young age, you didn't use it wisely.
No.
And you...
Here's a key insight. When someone receives a sudden windfall, especially at a young age, the law doesn't protect you from bad decisions. Weber's early OW has set off a legal domino effect, and now we're watching the fallout. Ask yourself how many people actually recover from this spiral.
You had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it got you into a lot of trouble.
Yes.
And as I understand it, it got you into a lot of trouble in the state of Illinois.
Yes.
And you got 3 OWIs.
Yes.
And then you got into trouble here in Wisconsin, probably visiting family or friends.
Yes.
And you got an OWI in Wisconsin.
Yes.
And then so from 2003, from this case, you got that OWI 3, and it was filed as an OWI, or that OWI, it was filed as OWI 1 in 2003. But you were gone, you were back in Illinois or something, and then a warrant was issued based upon that filing. And because there was another criminal matter that went along with it. I think it was like possession of a switchblade and possession of a controlled substance, right?
Yes.
And then you didn't come to court because you probably went back to Illinois. And then so the warrant was issued, and sometime in between, I don't know what for or what you did, but you went to prison, right?
Yes, in the state of Arizona.
I was going to say it was in Arizona. You did something there. And then, so you went to prison sometime, and then in 2020, while you were in prison, you contacted the court and you said, hey, I want to resolve these things. I want to take care of these things. How can I do that, right?
Yes.
And you didn't have an attorney at that time.
No.
And you wanted to make right, and you wanted to accept the responsibility, and you wanted to do what you felt was the right thing, correct?
Correct.
And you didn't have time to consult an attorney or talk to an attorney or understand the ramifications of what would happen if you pled guilty, correct?
That is correct.
And so you ended up pleading guilty. Mr. Reni was here, and he amended those misdemeanors down to ordinances, and you were very grateful with that, and you paid those off right away. And then you pled guilty to that OWI first ticket, right?
Yes.
But again, then after the fact, you got out of prison, and then you moved from Illinois or Arizona, wherever you were, and you came up here to Danbury to be with family.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you've been rebuilding your life, and now you're working at the fire department as a volunteer fireman, and you're doing all kinds of things to have a stable, secure, and law-abiding life, correct?
Correct.
And then little did you know, as you were trying to rebuild your life and get your license, that the state of Illinois, much like Wisconsin now, but Wisconsin wouldn't apply to you because it has to be from your OWIs are too old for Wisconsin to apply. But little did you know, Illinois has a...
Illinois' for and done. OWI rule just dropped like a legal hammer. It doesn't matter where those offenses occurred. 4 is a life sentence for your license. And guess what? Weber didn't even know when he pled guilty in Wisconsin. This is where legal education, or the lack of it, makes or breaks lives.
4 and done, right? And so you get 4 OWIs on your record. Doesn't matter where you get them, 4 and done, and you can't get your driver's license, correct?
Correct.
But you didn't know that when you agreed to plead guilty to our OWI first in Wisconsin, correct?
Correct.
And so after you found this out, you're willing to do whatever it takes, do what you can. You'd have an ignition interlock device for, you would say, 10 years if you needed to, correct?
Correct.
Whatever you need to do because you want to get your driver's license back because you're still relatively young and you want to work and you want to build your life and you want to work at the fire department, correct?
Correct.
And so then you have made your plea to the court and you've made your plea to the district attorney and you're asking, what can we do to be able to see if there's something that can happen so that you can be able to drive, correct?
Correct.
And because you can't even get your occupational license because Wisconsin says you have to have a valid license in all states to be able to get your occupational, correct?
Correct.
And you can't get your valid license in Illinois until 2030, correct?
Correct.
And so you're saying, help, is there anything that we can do, right?
Correct.
All right. So, Mr. Reni, that is the rundown, the summary of what we're doing here. And I don't know if you've had the opportunity to read all of his documents, but he's essentially asking the court to reopen his OWI. I don't think you're asking necessarily to reopen the misdemeanor case matter, but you're just asking the court to reopen that OWI and to see if there's some other way to work this so that you can essentially be given a second chance.
That is correct.
All right. So, Mr. Reni.
Thank you, Your Honor. First of all, I would point out that for quite some time, most of the states in America have gone to lifetime driver's license records and nationwide records. So there's something of an interplay with the Department of Transportation. They basically view themselves, even though it's a state agency, as quasi-federal because of the federal funding and highway money and things of that nature. We did look into this, and from what we could tell, Wisconsin believes he could get his license reinstated on 12/11 of 2025.
The DA's position is clear. The law doesn't like rewinding the tape, especially years later. He's sympathetic, but not supportive. And that's often the tension in these cases, the difference between legal procedure and human compassion.
It's not like he can never get it back, but he's roughly a year away from getting it back in Wisconsin. Beyond that, I don't see a legal basis for essentially vacating or dismissing a conviction once it's been entered, especially when it's been multiple years after it's entered. And although I'm sympathetic to his plight now, we were sympathetic to his plight back when the convictions were entered 3 or 4 years ago. And he received the benefit of the bargain then, and now it seems like he wants a little bit better bargain and to vacate things, and there just really isn't a legal
Well, I'm
basis to
granting the
vacate
motion
it.
to reopen, so we're going to have a trial.
Okay. Well, given the age of the evidence, then if you reopen it, then the case will have to then be dismissed, and that's up to the court, I guess. But I just don't think that there's a legal basis to do it.
Well, because he wasn't represented at the time and he didn't understand the law of both Wisconsin and Illinois at the time. And because of that, I think that does provide that basis.
That may be so, but with an OWI first, which this was, there isn't a right to an attorney, and many people are unrepresented on OWI first, and I just don't think there's a legal basis to do it.
But he had a right to an attorney on the 2003 CM 448, which this would be tied to that OWI first, which he would have a right to a public defender.
But those were a benefit of the bargain at his request, and they were amended to ordinances. So
yep.
Again,
and so I'm not reopening the 03 CM 448, but I am reopening the 03 TR 1612.
Okay.
Based upon his request to reopen and the fact that he did not understand the law and the implication of the law and how that would impact.
Now here's the legal twist. The judge reopens the OWI case. Why? Because Weber didn't understand the law at the time, especially how it would impact his future across state lines. That's the technicality the court's leaning on. It's rare, but it's happening.
His future at that time. Therefore, it is reopened and we can go ahead and set it if you wish.
Assuming you've just reopened it, and assuming that we would then have to use the evidence that would be approximately 20 years old, the state then moves to dismiss.
Court will grant the dismissal.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. It's rare that something like this happens, and I'm going to say that the only reason why the court is reopening it is based upon what I see as rehabilitation from you in the Arizona prison, and the fact that you are rehabilitating now when you're released from prison, and the fact that when you entered your pleas back in 2020, was it 2020 or 2021? It was, I believe it was in 2020, that you didn't have an attorney. You had a right to have an attorney because you were charged with misdemeanors, and you did not understand the ramifications of the law and the implications that it would have on you and have on your future, and that it could, as it did in Illinois, impact your ability to have a driver's license, and it was a lifetime revocation. So, but I'm going to warn you right now, Mr. Weber, that if you get another OWI, you will have a lifetime revocation in not only Illinois, but in Wisconsin as well. Wisconsin now has a OWI 4 lifetime revocation. It's very serious. So that means no drinking and driving for certain. What are you doing now with your life? I know what you're doing as a firefighter, but what else?
As of right now, I got plenty of work through the tribe. I got plenty of work even up here. I just need a license to be able to get to it. I actually been doing working out. I'm signing up for Wildland Fireland training so I can get my red card to go travel to California. These are just what I'm doing now. I have a couple of LLCs that I've started while I was in prison, trying to get those to move forward and go on with that. I haven't drank since December 27, 2016. And
you're not going to drink anymore, are you? You've learned your lesson.
Yeah. The time in prison actually gave me a lot of time to reflect. Hence the reason I just, everything I didn't like about myself in there, I tried to change. The associates, the business classes, anything I could do to make sure that old life is behind me. And
your significant other? Who is this with you?
Michelle Hogue. Friend. Family friend.
Good family friend. Well, Mr. Weber, you have been given a gift that not many people get. You have been given a second chance.
This is courtroom grace in motion. Weber's been given a second chance not because of who he was, but who he's trying to become. Firefighting, sobriety, LLCs, it's a redemption arc the law rarely allows. But the judge leaves him and us with a warning. Don't waste it.
And it's based upon a technicality. Use it wisely.
thank you.
Are you still on paper?
Until March 3rd, I do believe, through Amber McDowell.
All right, so again, use it wisely. I don't want to see you in my courtroom again for any negative reason, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. We are adjourned.
One question?
Yes.
Do I contact Illinois and say that this is done, or how do I move forward from here?
You contact who?
To get my license, do I just go to Wisconsin now, or?
Yeah, I think you can get minutes. I don't know how it gets
I
sent
think
to.
it'll take 24 hours to get processed
Okay.
through the system, but then you can give them a call in Wisconsin.
Thank you very much,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
thank you.
Good luck.